it always is a better day. You know, there's always a better day to come. So sometimes you get mad at it like you do when you're out there running a marathon and you're mad and you're like, this is hurting and I'm,
yeah.
You got to grind through the pain on, those days too. And then, truthfully, I believe that our faith gets us through.
Yeah.
Or gets me through.
Yeah.
So I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for my faith.
Yeah.
And I'm good whatever happens because God has our days. He'll get us to where we're supposed to be on this side of heaven. When you're facing mortality, with this, you can be a little scared.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you just say, but it's okay. It is well with my soul.
Welcome to a special episode of Through Their Stride. I'm your host, Sam Sutton, or Sam Runs TX on other social platforms. Today's episode is a conversation I had over a year ago with my mom, Angela Grannan. Angela has been living with cancer since 2013, and after years of treatment and remission cycles, she chose to stop treatment in 2023. Despite the odds, she's continued fighting with the same grit she's always shown, the same grit that carried her through Boston marathons, the Huttern Hill 100 multiple times, and a Grand Canyon rim-to-rim-to-rim hike. She's one of the toughest people I know. So without further ado, here's my mom, Angela Grannan. So welcome to the show.
Good to be here.
So have you ever been on a podcast before?
No, this is the first time.
But you listen to podcasts all the time.
I love podcasts. It helps me pass the time when I'm working out.
Yeah. And so to tell me a little bit, we'll start from the very beginning. So how did you you've been an athlete your whole life. You've been a runner not a runner your whole life, but what's that story like? How did that story of being in athletics begin?
I guess from childhood. I mean, I grew up in a small town, so.
And where did you grow up?
In Seymour, Texas. Exciting. And I still love that little town. I have lots of friends and family there. But kind of sadly and unfortunately for some folks, if you weren't an athlete growing up where I grew up, you kind of weren't, popular people. So we, you either got on or you didn't. And my brother was an athlete. So, I started out actually playing basketball. So, we played basketball in the front yard and, my dad built us a basketball goal and it was me and my brother and his friends. So I either had to, hold my own or get beat up. So pretty much it started there. And then, once I, kind of got better at that and then, played sports all during high school, ran track, played basketball, all that stuff. Then, once I got out of school and I was like, well, I still want to be fit and I want to be healthy. So I started running. It was kind of my next thing was running. Started running. And then after that, I ran and I worked out in the gym. I wasn't really any kind of real athlete. I mean, not like I'm awesome at it. It was basically more just trying to stay, healthy and, that. And then, your dad and I lived in Houston when they had the Olympic trials for the marathon. And I was like, I want to go watch. I want to watch those women, run. So we did.
What year was that?
Oh my goodness. I don't know if I remember the year. Had to have been 91 or 2 or something like that.
A few years before we were born.
Yeah, before. And we went and I was just in awe of those runners. I thought, oh my goodness, this is amazing. I want to do that. I want to run a marathon. So that's how my marathon started. I started doing that and that's how that got going.
Awesome.
Yeah. So.
And I Dad talks about your running and about your fitness a lot. And he says that whenever you're running or whenever you're doing a hard workout, like the pain from the running or the workout, and for a lot of people, when they experience the wall, the pain cave is what some people call it. Mm-hmm. They want to give up. They want to stop. They want to walk. They want to slow down. But he said it always made you just mad, and it makes you want to push and fight through it. Could you attest to that? And how did where does that come from?
I think that goes back to my childhood of just, the way I grew up. Like, like you better, like I said, when I played basketball with my brother and his friends, it was like, you better get out here and be tough and get through it and hang with them, or go out on the couch in the house and, be a little whiny girl. So I think it comes from that, but also for myself, I think that kind of is how I am in life. Is like, you're going to get through it. Just keep going, push through, put the pain somewhere else. That's what I always tell you when you're running.
Mm-hmm.
Find a place to put the pain,
mm-hmm.
not in your head, and then keep going. So I think that's how that goes.
I remember back in, I think it was 8th grade, when I was running my last cross country meet of the year, and it was like the worst cross country meet that I had for the 2 years that I ran in cross country, and I was like, having the stitches in the side, and it was at the what's that place? It's kind of next to the Speedway.
It's at Northwest.
Northwest, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I was running, and I was like falling apart, and you came running over to the side, and you got to find a place to put that pain, Sam. Keep going. And I think I was like, oh, Mom. But I always think about that, like that race whenever whenever I'm racing, because it's just like, it's a fond memory that I have of like you kind of pushing, and like we've been running together for a long time. And actually that's kind of where I've get my running from is, from you. Going back to your very first race after watching the Houston Marathon, do you remember your first race or your first run that you did
Are you talking about the first marathon that I did, or just first
ever race, local race?
No, I had been doing races.
Oh, okay.
Like 10Ks, 5Ks.
Yeah.
Remember 10K kind of was my thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I had this thing in my head, like 10K every day, so for whatever reason that was, I don't know, but I did that. And then I decided I wanted to get faster at my 10Ks. I wanted to, place in all the little runs I could, go, and I wanted to try to podium or whatever.
Yeah.
So I did that, and I got faster and I got better. So I didn't really have anybody to help me, like teach me how to do that. I just did it. I'd just go out and try to run faster, slower, faster, whatever. I just made it my own. I didn't know what I was doing. And then, once I started the marathoning, I did start, I found a training program, and it was called, I forgot the name of that program, but they're kind of everywhere. I think I told you, and you looked it up, in your area. Remember that was.
It was.
I forgot the name of that group, but they're still around.
Yeah, I do remember that, and I don't remember the name of it, but I do remember there's one in Austin as well.
Yes, and they're everywhere now. But it's that same group, and I don't remember the name of them.
Yeah, if I figure it out, I'll say it at the beginning of the show. Okay. So that when people,
because people can look them up, because they're awesome. They are very good at getting you to where you want to be.
Cool.
So my first marathon, I don't remember the time. It was Houston, and it was terrible. I just got through it, and I remember thinking, one and done, I'm never doing that again. That was painful. No. But then I was like, yeah, well, maybe. And so, after you recover, you're like, okay, I'm good. I'm going to do some more.
So starting there, did you do the Houston because you saw the Houston? Or
yeah, because then I lived there, and it was like, hey, I can do this. And I had that group was there, so I met up with them for training, and they gave me a training plan. And that training plan was, I didn't live near where they met on like Saturdays, and during the week you could go meet with them to run, but I didn't live very close to that, so I just took my training, and during the week I did it, out where I lived, and then on the weekends I would drive into town and meet up with the group and run. And I met a really cool girl there. She and I were just really good friends, so we started cycling as well.
Okay. So you've been cycling for a long time then.
So we cycled and ran. So we both did both things back then. And she was a runner and a marathoner and cyclist. And so we would ride with the guys in Houston. It was so fun because, we were the only two girls, and we were keeping up, and, they didn't like it if we were faster than them. And then we would, we'd get on the front and we'd just try to pull a little harder and make them try to hang on. And, it was fun.
Yeah.
And so then once your dad and I moved back here to the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and then I had you guys, and then I had to start running again. So I bought one of those strollers that you can push it or you can pull it on your back. So it's a double stroller because twins, you two. And so I still trained through all that. And then I joined another training program here. And I actually got a coach, like a personal coach, because I wasn't looking to qualify for Boston at that time. I just wanted to break 4 hours so bad.
Yeah.
I wanted to run the marathon. I'm like, I'm going to do this. Like, this is ridiculous that it's taking me more than 4 hours. So got a trainer and that guy worked us hard. Like, we did speed work at the track, and all that good stuff. And so I went and did the Chicago Marathon, which is a very flat course. Great. To, get faster. Faster. So I broke 4 hours. I don't remember the time. I think I might have been 3:40 something. So I did well for what I was looking for. But it was back before you had like a watch that you could check your splits or whatever. So I had it written on my arm. I had it written like at every mile marker what time I needed to be at, and so I'd have to look at the clock when you can get to the the next mile, and there's a clock there that tells you what your time is.
Yeah,
that's how I was like, okay, speed up, slow down, speed up, slow down. So I did that, and that was good. And then I decided I'm going to run the Dallas Marathon, and
which is now
what is it called now? No.
BMW Dallas Marathon. Yeah.
It's just changed names a few times.
Didn't the course change a little bit too? Since
the course has changed a bit.
Yeah.
So I did that one, and I had same coach, trainer group, and again I was like, okay, now I just want to go as fast as I can. I didn't necessarily have I wanted to keep it under 4 hours. But, I was like, okay, I'm going to do that. And then I knew what my qualifying time was for Boston because there was a group of people that I had been training with that had mentioned it. Like, I think you could qualify for Boston. I'm like, yeah, I'm not really trying to do that. I'm just want to get a little faster. I'm good.
Yeah.
So I knew what my time was to qualify. But I had a great run. I was like, well, I'm doing really good. And then at the end, when I realized where I was on my time, and I only had like 5K or more left, I was like, well, if I pick it up right here, I'm easily going to qualify.
Yeah.
So I did, and I did. So
yeah. And you said you remember running that race, and you passed a guy that you had
been training with.
Yeah, been training with.
Because he had bad blisters too, and he had to take his shoe off, and I was like, oh, sucks to be you.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's that feeling like, going from Houston Marathon where it was just, paying almost the whole time, like barely. Well, I know twice now. But you barely make through it and you're like, oh my God, thank God that's done. And I'm never doing it again. To running not only a Boston qualifying time, but a time when you only had 5K left to go.
And I could sprint it almost.
And you could sprint it. What was the, did you ever hit a wall even in that race, or was it?
Oh, sure. I always felt like my wall was always around mile 18-ish.
Okay.
Most people say mile 20. I feel like I always hit it a little sooner. But I got better at that. But I think the reason I always hit it sooner was I had a tendency to come out of the gate too fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had to learn to not do that. Like to slow it down, don't go out, because it's so exciting when you start a marathon. Everybody's there, everybody's cheering, and the adrenaline is so high, and you tend to come out like you're running a 5K, and you're like, whoa, look how good I'm doing. And then, you're like, oh no, I can't. I'm so tired. But, so I kind of learned to not do that. So, and that's what I know I preach that to you all the time. I'm like, slow down.
Yeah.
Don't go out so fast. You're going too fast.
Still do it wrong.
It's hard. It's a thing, But once I did that, it was much better. And so I think, it's usually around 18 or 20. It always was for me, that wall of like, okay. But then you tell yourself, it's only a 10K. Only have a 10K to go.
Yeah.
But then when you think about a 10K, when you're tired and everything's hurting, 10K, that's like 6. I can't. Yeah. But you got to, I just always had to tell myself, like, well, I can't sit here and think about how painful the 10K is. And then there were times when, it's really hard and it's like, okay, I'm just going to run another half mile. Yeah. Just run another half mile. Yeah. And then don't think about another 10K and see how far I can go.
Run the half mile and just like, can you give me another half?
Can I give another half? Can I get another half? Can I get another half? And I always think the goal is to be able to finish, to hit that last 10K or the last, 5K-ish and still have something in the tank that you can, you can push through. Yeah. Cowtown Marathon. I've run that one a couple times. But the last time I did the, I think they call it the triple something, where you do more than one event or whatever.
You do like the 5K and then the 10K and then or 5K and the run or something like that?
I think it's only 2 events.
Okay.
You do 2. You either do the 5K or the 10K. Or and then the next day you come back and do the half.
Yeah.
Or the full. So I've done that a couple times.
Dang.
That not a couple times. I actually only have done that once.
Yeah.
And that's tough.
Yeah, it's like that sounds tough to run a 5 or 10K Saturday and then Sunday come back.
I think I did a 10K and then a marathon the next.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's pretty brutal.
And then
that's a weekend.
Yeah. Talk to me about Boston as well, because when you qualified in I think 97 or something like that, or 98.
You guys were a year old or something?
So like 96 maybe?
Or something like that? I don't know.
Yeah, something like that.
You were little. It was just tough. Yeah, I did. So I think I ran a 3:36, 3:35, something like that.
Yeah.
And then I went to Boston that March.
And Boston was hard.
Yes. It was just horrific for me. The thing about Boston that I still have, it just makes me sad when I think about how hard that was for me, was because you get bussed out in the morning according to your time. So the slower you are, the slower your qualifying time, the earlier you have to get up and get on the bus. And then they bus you out to Hopkinton, and then you have to wait till the thing doesn't start till it's noon or something. You're just sitting around out there in a football field, somebody's front lawn or something. And now the fast people don't have to get up as early. Those people that are just elite runners, they get to, go later. Yeah. But and the first part for me seemed like it was downhill. So you come out of the gate, you're like, man, I'm flying, man.
It's all downhill.
It's like, this is awesome. And then you just start climbing. So it seemed like it was uphill.
Like downhill, and then the rest of it's uphill. Yeah.
And so I did terrible. I did terrible. I think I almost 5 hours or something, 4 something. I don't know what it was, but it was a nightmare. Miserable. But I got through it. I finished it. And then I thought, I'm going to do that again. I'm going to do better. And I qualified again.
Well, so what was your second qualifying?
I do not remember.
Do you remember where?
Nope.
Okay.
It was Houston.
Oh, okay.
I went back and did Houston. So I qualified in Houston, but I don't remember my time. But it had to have been
3
something.
30 something.
Because I couldn't have, I wasn't that much older. Yeah. So my time didn't go up.
Same age range.
Excuse me. So, But I did the same thing. I went back out there thinking I was gonna, this time I'm gonna do good.
Yeah.
Nope, same thing.
Yeah.
So I decided I'd check that box.
I'm good now.
I've done it twice. I don't need a third time.
Yeah.
So, but that's good. And then I didn't do many more marathons. I think I've done. I did Cowtown again because it's local.
Yeah.
I've done Austin, Chicago, Dallas.
Didn't you do one in Baylor, Waco?
Yes, Waco in the ice.
Yes.
But actually, I only got to do a half because they canceled.
The full. Yeah.
I was planning to run Dallas, and we had a terrible ice storm. Mm-hmm. And I was furious because I was like, I have trained hard for this.
Because I was older at that time. I was in college.
Mark and I were going.
So, yeah.
So I wake up and they're canceling Dallas Marathon, a few days before because we have that cobblestone ice stuff. And I'm like, well, this is ridiculous. I'm going to find a marathon somewhere. And if I'm going to do one, of course, Mark's like, can we just not? Excuse me. And then they had put it out there that if you wanted to figure out how you could get to Waco to run their marathon, that they would take your entry fee that you paid and you can go run that one. But the problem was there's so much ice on the road. Like, how are we going to get there? Yeah. So, Mark's, his 4-wheel drive, he's like, we can do it if you really want to. I'm like, well, let's go. Yeah. So, but they didn't have a full. You could only could run a half. So it's like you overtrained? Barely made it there. Slip sliding all the way.
Wasn't it dark where your Airbnb was too? I think we
stayed in a hotel.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. But it was dark by the time we got there.
Yeah.
So cold and I don't know how we made that because we almost had several wrecks trying to get there. But we made it. I was crazy because I was like, I'm mad. I've trained. I'm going to go do something.
Do this, yeah.
So we did. So I did it. But then my knees are kind of gave out on me. So now I had one knee surgery. My other knee's still a little grouchy. So I decided to start cycling again.
Yeah. And that's what I was going to ask about next. You said you've been cycling since like the 90s when you picked up running.
Oh, yeah.
And then now you're primarily cycling. So
yes, that's pretty much all I do now. Cycle and strength training at the gym.
Yeah. And what's the difference between cycling and running for you? Like physicality wise, endurance wise?
Honestly, I love running so much.
Yeah.
But my body doesn't like it
anymore.
So, I walk a lot. Like, hiked a lot. But my body just can't handle that pounding on the pavement. My knees just don't like it. So if I could choose a sport and my body would let me do it, I would still run. But I have, I love cycling as well, but it's just not quite like I liked running.
Yeah.
But I, obviously I do it. I've cycled a lot.
And like, that's what's amazing about you though, is because you say your knees still, are done for, and like, it's still it's a lot on your body to run, but cycling's a lot on your body too. And you're still
I've had
running.
Some crashes.
Yeah. And you're still cycling like crazy races. Like you did the Houston to New Orleans a couple of years back. And that's like what, like 90 to 100 miles a day or something like that for a whole week?
Yeah. Like 600 miles. Yeah.
Yeah. So what was that like getting through?
That was so much fun. Because the beauty of that is it's downhill in elevation from Houston to New Orleans.
That's awesome.
So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So that was hard, but I don't know if it was that hard. I mean, I thought that was kind of fun. The hardest thing I've done, cycling wise, well, two things I did that were really hard. When I came out to Fredericksburg, and my friend and I went out and we did Texas Hell Week.
Yes.
Now that was weird. That was cycling every day.
In hills.
Lots of hills. They don't call it the hill country for no reason.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of hills out there every day, and wind because it was in March and the wind was just howling every day.
That makes you think of the story when you came to Fredericksburg whenever you met Monica for the first time.
Oh.
And I was telling Monica, yeah, she's like kind of a, a big rider, but I know she's looking for a trail. I don't know when you know the area more than I do. She knew the area more than I do. I was like, do you have a recommendation for her? And say, oh, well, if she's a big rider, she could go do the Willow City Loop.
Oh, sure.
And for those of y'all who have not been to Fredericksburg, the Willow City Loop is just hills. It's all hills out and it's all hills back. And you finished and you were like, I think she's trying to kill me.
She doesn't want me to be your mother-in-law. Yes, because I told her, I said, I think I'll just do like a 50-mile ride or something if that's good. And map me out a 50-mile course that out here, that, whatever. So we drove it the day before, and I remember thinking, okay, well, this looks pretty hilly. I'll whatever, give it a whirl. Man, I mean, I got back to your apartment, I thought, it's trying to kill me. And the road getting out there's so much traffic and cars are trying to run me over. I thought, I don't think this is really meant for cycling people, but I did it. Yeah, that was fun. Yeah. So anyway, but Texas Hell Week was really hard. But we did that week in preparation for our 200-mile ride.
Oh, wow.
That we were supposed to do in May. But I only ended up doing 150 miles of that ride. My friend, this is what I tell you all the time, having a training partner or whatever is okay, but it's you always start out the gate. I believe when you go out, you tell them, hey, we trained together, we've done all these things, but this is my race. Don't let someone hold you back, because she struggled really bad on that ride, and she ended up quitting sooner. And I was out there by myself at that point, and it was brutal. And it's brutal. So I ended up only doing 150. But if I would have had the same mindset that I've told you, I think I would have easily finished that 200.
Yeah.
But it just didn't end in my favor. But it was fun. It was still fun to train, and that's the longest ride I've done in one day.
In one setting.
Miles.
Golly, it's a lot of miles.
So, but it's all good.
Yeah. And then hiking too. You like to do hiking. You've gone to Paladero Canyon. You've done Big Bend. You've done a lot of things. Yeah. I did one with you. We did like a half marathon distance at Colorado Bend State Park, and I almost died because that was in the middle of July, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna be sick. I remember we started that one, and at the beginning it had a sign. Yeah, it had a sign, and it said like, don't hike in extreme heat. This many people have died this year. And I was like, what? And so it's extreme hiking. And then that was in preparation for rim to rim to rim.
Yes.
That you were doing.
My cousin and I did that together. And we went to New Mexico. Remember, we almost died.
So tell that story before rim to rim, because that's an extreme story that you had to get through physically and mentally.
Oh, yes. It was bad. So first, let me back up. So rim to rim to rim, we had, someone had told me about this group. You know me, just like, this looks cool. Let's do this. It's called Project Athena. And it's for people who are survivors of something traumatic in their life, physically or mentally or whatever.
Yeah.
So, obviously, you talked about earlier, I've had some cancer issues. So I think that was after my first or second bout of the cancer. And so I put in my information for this to join this group, and they accepted me. And I was like, well, this is cool. So I drug my cousin along with me, because you can bring somebody. And she's like, okay, I'll do it. And I was like, okay, this is going to be great. We're going to do Grand Canyon rim to rim to rim. But they also give you a really, really tough training program. So you not only have to hike, the distance, but you have to travel around to find the elevation that you're going to need to hike the Grand Canyon. Yeah. So we decided for one of our long hikes that we were going to go to New Mexico. So into Ruidoso. And I don't know if you remember, when we all went out there before as a family, we did some hiking.
We did.
And we'd met that guy at that hiking store that had told us about the trails.
Yeah, okay.
And I remembered him. So when my cousin and I got there, I was like, let's go to this hiking store. This guy can tell us, which trail to do to get this elevation that we need. So we did. We met up with him and he told us where to go. But he said, it's a little tricky. So when you get to this one sign, if you don't know which way to go, text me and I'll make sure you go the right way. Well, somebody was wrong. So we obviously went the wrong way. Anyway, we get up to the top of this mountain and we were not going the right way.
Yeah.
We were lost. Terribly lost. And so we hiked and we were just, we got the park rangers involved. We got, I don't even remember who all we called.
Yeah.
And they were like, go this way, go that way, go that, hike up, hike this way, bushwhack through this, bushwhack through that, crawl back down off the mountain. No, go this way. And it was like, it's getting darker. The time's going. We started at 4 a.m. because we wanted they want you to hike in the dark so you can learn how to do that.
Yeah.
But it was getting later in the day.
You mean the rim to rim to rim people?
Okay. And it's getting later in the day. And then finally we get to the top of this mountain and we're looking around and we see these bones on the ground. And I'm like, well, that's weird. And we realize it's not an animal. It was a person. It was a human being.
Oh, no.
It was people.
It was people.
Anyway, so we're kind of freaked out. So we take some pictures of that. And we're like, this is not good. Anyway, eventually, we somehow got down off that mountain with the help of some park rangers and police officers texting, whatever. But it was getting late in the day. But once we do get to the police officers who were going to drive us back to our car, we were 90 miles from our car. So we were terribly lost. So we didn't get back until like 10:30 in the evening to our B&B. And then when we told them, they were like, you girls are lucky because most people don't come off that mountain alive when they get lost. We were like, well, we did see that somebody didn't come alive because there's some bones up there. And they were freaking out like, what? We've been looking for this person. They were asked us to go back. We're like, no way. Anyway, so we get that. We did the training. And then that was our last really hard hike we had to do before rim to rim to rim. That was our highest elevation hike we had to do. So then we went to, to the Grand Canyon and rim to rim to rim. That's like 48 miles in 2 days.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you start at 2 a.m. and then you hike all day and then you go to bed and then you get up the next morning, 2 a.m. and you do it again the other way.
Yeah. So, and that's
it's
elevation, too.
And we did it in August.
And I have a question about this, too. That's insane in Arizona and the Grand Canyon. And of course, that's another area where like the pain came through and you were just you just got mad at the pain and you pushed through.
Because my toes were killing me. I don't know why I have this issue with my toes, but I wanted to just cut my toes off. I thought if we could just stop somewhere and if we take my toes,
I'll be okay.
I'll feel better if we can just keep going. Because my toes, I had to stop and I had to wrap them and that was very painful.
Yeah. And your cousin didn't finish.
She didn't finish. She did the first day, rim to rim, and she struggled. She got sick of dehydration. So, because it's a hot
Arizona.
Yeah. And when you're in the Grand Canyon, you're on those canyon walls and the sun's coming down.
Beating on you and beating on the walls.
Beating on the walls, and it is like 150 degrees and it is hot. But so that's really, really, really hard. And if you do not eat and hydrate constantly, you're not going to get out of there.
Yeah.
So they basically had to tether a rope under her and drag her like you're going. And I carried her backpack and somebody drug her and she got out of there. But the second day she didn't go.
Yeah.
She was still too dehydrated. And that's dangerous.
Did they drag her like with the truck or with the?
No, you can't get a truck in the
That's what I assumed. Yeah.
No, like tethered to someone else.
Oh my gosh.
And he's just like, come on.
Yeah. All right. Wow.
A helicopter in there.
Yeah. No.
You got to get out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was brutal for her. Yeah. Yeah. That dehydration, that's not.
Well, no.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that dehydration, but I know dehydration.
Yes, it'll get you.
So your whole life you've been an endurance athlete.
Mm-hmm.
What is endurance workouts for you? Like, other than just getting stronger and getting fitter, being out there, being in an endurance sport, being, training, what does that do for you mentally? What does it give you? You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. So if I'm not like, last year I broke my pelvic bone in my hip in a couple places.
On a bicycle ride.
Bicycle crash.
Yeah. And you've gotten to a bad concussion before.
Had my head busted open. Road
biking.
The thing about road biking, it's not for the wimps because it is dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is dangerous.
More dangerous than running.
Wait. Yeah. Yes. Because, one thing, road biking is people who drive cars do not like us at all.
My dad always says, runners don't like drivers. Cyclists don't like runners. Nobody likes cyclists.
Your dad. He hates that I ride that bike.
Yeah. But anyway,
we'll just ignore that. What does he know? So, anyway, so yes, for me, if I'm not out there, like even today, you and I were going to go for a walk, but we didn't have it going.
We can still go later,
it's
probably.
Starting to look a little better out there.
Yeah.
I have to do something. Mm-hmm. And when I was broken and down with my hip, I thought I was going to lose my mind because it's a mental thing for me. It's like, if I don't get out there and I don't get some fresh air and some walking or hiking or biking, I'll go into a really, I can just get really down. It is, they say that, it's what do you call those? Endorphins?
Yeah, endorphins.
Yeah, endorphins. It's a drug for me. Mm-hmm. So I got to do it. If I can't do it,
it's a bad time.
It's a bad time.
Yeah.
So that's what endurance sports are for me. It's it's really good. It helps my brain.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then, obviously Adam didn't get the love for
no, he didn't.
But I got it. So like he's run a few times with us, but I've always run with you, right. Like growing up.
7 mailboxes to the top of the hill in front of our house.
Yeah, I think I remember. I do remember that. Yeah, on those long climbs. But I think I remember back when I was a little kid doing like the How the West Was Run 5K. I think that was my first ever race.
Yes.
And that was what I still remember. That's when I got the bug to continue running.
Yes.
And like, cycling is much harder than running, but it's a lot
of. It's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say much harder for me, but some people may not think so.
Right.
But it's that mental, the endorphins, so to see, that type of sport passed down to your son and
I love it.
To be able to have done it with me so many times. What does that get to you?
It makes me so happy to see that. I love to see that. Even today we were at the running shoe store and you were trying on shoes and I was like, I love it so much.
I remember I'd come home from college too, and we would always go run and work out.
In
San Angelo,
and I'd come out and we'd go run.
Yeah.
I think I have pictures of us. And
I still do too.
And I was bald. And I remember that. And we
coming to my meets in middle school.
Yes, I loved it. I love it. I love that you do that. I wish I could run with you now, but I tried one day and I made it 18 steps, and I was like, nope, can't do it. My knee is not going to let me. Well, I think it was my hip was still not. Then.
Yeah.
So I couldn't run. And I try to jog a little bit every once in a while, but I know if I want to keep walking or running and cycling and hiking, I do not want my knees to be.
Yeah.
I want to be able to walk. So I'm gonna skip that one.
Skip
Makes me
that one.
sad.
Yeah.
Skip it.
Yeah, but I still like when I'm running my, and I'll always remember the Cowtown Marathon that I ran, the half marathon, and that was the first time I ever broke 2 hours, and I did it with not with the same, but we did it together, and we did it together the first 2 times at Cowtown.
Yes.
Yeah, 13 and 14 and 15, and those have always been like fond memories for me, just driving up to the race together and getting in the.
Oh my gosh! Remember that one time we parked far from the.
Was that the first time?
Was it? And we parked so far from.
It was the first time because
we didn't pay attention. I don't think we really were smart about where we parked.
We just parked.
And then we had to walk so far afterwards.
We're
never going to get to our car.
Yeah. But I actually, and with the running stuff, like I always, I've been running with other people after that. Like I ran with my friend Kelsey and my friend Victor and my friend Brent. And I've always been running with them because you shared the sport with me and I loved it so much. So I always want to like keep sharing that love that you've shared with me. So
not everybody's a runner though.
Not everyone's a runner.
Loves it,
but everyone that I've run with, they keep you in mind. Like Victor kept you in mind, Kelsey did, and Brent did, so you've been an inspiration for a lot of people.
Because I hope so. Because it's now if I can just get you cycling with me, we'd be good.
One day. Probably one day.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And then now I want to talk a little bit about your cancer journey. So you've been battling cancer for a while. 2000, what was the first year?
12, 13, something like that. 12, I think or something.
Yeah, and then we don't have to get into the details of what the cancer is, but through all that time, you're still always training. You've cycled during cancer bouts, you've run. I remember you trained for the half marathon with Adam at the trail race. And is that just...
Oh, yeah, that we did a trail race.
Yeah. Is that just because, like, it helps give you something during...
Oh, sure. I mean, I always tell myself, I can feel like crap laying in here on the couch because, if you're going through chemo, nothing feels good.
Yeah.
Or I can feel like crap out there walking or running or something and getting some fresh air. And so it always helps me to move and, you stay strong.
Yeah.
So, it's, doesn't hurt. I mean,
hurt,
there's some days I physically can't. When I'm really sick.
Yeah.
I just can't get far from the restroom or whatever, But I try to keep moving. I think that's important for all things. And Toby Keith had an interview recently because he's dealing with that. And
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so he has that song that he talked about. Don't let the old man in. So if you it's country music, so not everybody loves it, but I do. But that song, is so true. You just got to get up, get outside, feel better.
Yeah.
And then just keep moving.
Just keep moving.
That's how I feel. Like don't let that creep in on you because you'll never get off the couch if you do. Yeah.
And during these cancer bouts, I've seen you still continue to stay strong and stay positive, and it's been still an inspiration for me every day. So, what is your motivator through all of that? And when the days get hard and when it gets tough,
it'll get better.
Yeah.
People ask me all the time, how are you feeling today? I'm like, well, been better, been worse.
Yeah.
But tomorrow will be better. And it always is a better day. There's always a better day to come. So sometimes you get mad at it like you do when you're out there running a marathon and you're mad and you're like, this is hurting and I'm,
yeah.
You got to grind through the pain on, those days too.
Yeah.
And then, truthfully, I'm good with it now. Like I told you the other day, I'm not doing any more of this treatment. And I believe that our faith gets us through.
Yeah.
Or gets me through.
Yeah.
So I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for my faith.
Yeah.
And I'm good whatever happens because God has our days. He'll get us to where we're supposed to be on this side of heaven. And if I didn't have my faith, it would not be good.
Yeah.
So I feel like, again, I kind of relate to the whole Toby Keith interview that he had. I mean, I've said the exact same words he said is, people without faith can't say that. If you don't have that, it's kind of scary. What are you looking at?
Yeah.
And, when you're facing mortality, with this, you can be a little scared.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you just say, but it's okay. It is well with my soul. And so I'm going to keep fighting health-wise as far as just living each day, chemo-free. And so, I have a new training plan, like I told you. I start Monday on it. I'm going to cycle tomorrow.
What are you training for?
I haven't been on my bike in a while.
Yeah.
So can't wait to get out there. It's supposed to be a beautiful day.
What are you training for?
Well, I haven't picked anything big yet. I'm looking at some things I'd like to go and do because I didn't get to ride it's the ride across Iowa that I was going to do last year.
Right. So what she said earlier, she had broken her pelvic muscle or bone and hip. And she at that time she was training for the Iowa race. Yeah.
Ragbra. And I didn't get to go because I broke my hip. And so I would love to be able to go do that this year. It's going to depend on how quickly my training on the bike goes, though, because, I don't know if I can get enough miles in. And so, yeah, so I'd like to do that. If I don't do that this year, next year, for sure. And then for anything big this year, I'm definitely going to do Hotter than Hell. That's, a given. Do that. That's 100-miler out, So that's not until August. So
August in Wichita Falls, by the way. That's like 112 degrees.
That's why they call it Hotter than Hell.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do that. And then, hitting the gym. I believe in, like I've told you over and over again, you got to hit the weights.
Yes. And it makes so much difference.
It makes huge difference. So strength training, I don't need to be muscle bound. I'm old. I don't need to look, like that. But I just want to be strong.
Maintain,
be strong. And, then when I'm in the gym, it'll give me some strength on the bike. And here we go.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, thank you so much. I think that's everything that I have for you. Oh. And is there anything else that you'd like to say?
No, except thank you. Thank you for doing this. And I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
As your old mama, like I tell you. Old fat mama's beating you. Don't let that happen. So just keep training, stay strong. And then when you're out there and you're in pain, just say, oh, what will my mama tell me?
Yeah. Well, I will say that you're obviously an inspiration to me, and I wanted to do this to kind of keep that something, in something permanent to tell your story and to tell this story and show it to other people and maybe even my grandkids whenever I'm older, to, so they can
my grandkids.
Yeah, my kids, your grandkids. Just to kind of pass on your story. So awesome. Thank you so much for sharing it.
You're most welcome. Love you.
Thank you for listening to this special episode of Through Their Stride. My mom's story is one I'll carry with me forever, not just because she's my mom, but because she's the reason I believe in doing hard things, and showing up, and in finding joy even in the middle of pain. If her story moved you, share it with someone who might need a little hope today. And Mom, if you're listening, I love you. I'm Sam Sutton, and this is Through Their Stride.